Welcome to WTF with Tom, the channel that gets down to the truth about the government, coronavirus, when we should go back to work, and when we should stay home and stay out of other people's ways that are essential workers. If you're not, stay home. But today, we're making homemade wine if you're staying home. 1 gallon. We're going to add sugar. Everything here's been sanitized and cleaned and let dry. Got to do that for the sugar or you'll never get it through the funnel or out of here. So let's go. Sanitation bucket. Always got to sanitize. You got to be clean. Germs get in that you don't want. It's going to turn it to vinegar or worse. Today we're going to do 1 gallon. I got everything sanitized also in this bucket. We got 1 funnel. My hands have been cleaned and sanitized and bleached and sanitized again. And then pour the water out. Get all that out of there. And what I use is Star Sand. That's just about what every brewer uses anyway. It's a non-rinse solution. So if you don't get all the stuff, all the bubbles out, that's okay. That's okay. There we go. All right. Kind of wet here. Let's start with a little bit of juice. Right here. Ain't getting props to nobody. Unnamed juice. Make sure it's 100% real juice and no additives or preservatives. Preservatives will kill the yeast. Just pouring it in there. This makes 1 gallon, Debbie John. Each one of these is a ½ gallon. Save that for a second. Let's get our sugar. For 1 gallon, we're doing 2½ cups. We're going to start with 2½ cups at least. Alright, where are we at? Here we go. What do we got? This is regular household grain sugar. Cheaper the better. What we got here? A little less than. You know what? We're going to 3 cups for 1 gallon. Now remember, sanitize again. Germs, keep them out. Now, what we're going to do is gloves. You should be wearing these anyway when you go out. Wear a mask and gloves. You could be asymptomatic, but someone else can catch it from you. And if they're the elderly, they could pass away. So please, let's just stay home. Let's make some brew. Alright, at least some wine, some good wine. Whoa! Slow down, Tom. Get it in the hole at least. Whoa. I wish I had another funnel that wasn't wet. Yeah. That's okay. We'll wipe it off later. Screw it. Like I do for my demos. No one's looking. They can't tell if you got shit stuff over the table. WTF? Alright. After you got that in, if you got gloves, if not, if you got, let's see what we got over here. We got a bung. Sanitized. Put your hand over it. Put your finger over the thumb. Let's slish all this around. We got to convert the sugar into a liquid state. So the juice actually gets really sweet. So when we introduce our yeast and yeast nutrient, this girl's going to town. I guarantee it. She is going to town. All right. Here we go. Wipe the old hands. She got a paper towel for this. But hey, I'm always messy. Everything's clean, and I sprayed sanitizer on everything. Except for that. All right. Let's wipe this Debbie John down. If not, you're going to cause ants. Plus, I'll spray it down with our solution. Kill everything that's going to kill our brew or wine. Or inmate brew if you like. There we go. Alright. There we go. Back in there. And our large funnel again. Been cleaned out. Don't worry about the foam. Don't fear the foam. Foam is your friend. That's half gallon. But we have to leave room at the end. And I will show you why and I'll tell you why. There we go. No splashing. Splash a little now to get air in there. But later on you don't want air. Give that a little bit, because I want to fill it up to about at least here where the lettering is, where it's stamped. Come on. A little bit more. And the towel, because I can't wait. We don't got all the time in the world. There she goes. Whoa. Messier than I thought. But hey, that's part of home brewing. Trial and error. I'm not an expert. But you know what? I'm trying. And it's fun. Learn new things. Now we got way too much in there. So what we're going to do, pour some more out. Because I fucked up a little bit. WTF, Tom. WTF. Right about to the lettering. Right there. We didn't lose much sugar. I guarantee you that. I know this is filled with sugar. We're only supposed to use 2 cups. And instead we used 3. Probably got a half a cup all over the place. And a half a cup in there. So we're right at the 2 cup recommendations. Alright. Now, stir everything together. I wish I had a drill. I don't. Everything's been sterilized, so mix everything up. And I go backwards. Forwards. Get that out of there. We need the final gravity. You need to know what you're starting with. What your potential alcohol could be. So gently lay that in there. Pour till it floats like a boat. Wait till the fizz goes down. And since I sterilized the tube, it's going back in there. No germs, no nothing. Believe me, I've done enough times to know. Give it a spin. It looks high up there today. So let's take a gander. Holy moly. Where are we? Okay, beer. Okay. Wine is in the blue. So let's give it a drop. And it is 1.110. Whoa! What is the potential alcohol on that one? Okay, alcohol by volume. It's never right. It's only 16% alcohol. Let me write this down. It's in the video, I'll remember. It is starting gravity is 1.110 at 16% alcohol is projected. It could be less, it could be more. But here we go. Back in the solution. Get our funnel that's been soaking in there. Pour that back in there. Back in there. Into the solution we go. Everything that touches our beer has to be sterilized. I mean, touches our wine, I'm sorry. I'm used to making beer. Give this a really good mix. Now, we want to have one of these stick on temperature, because you can't have your wine too cold or too hot. Too hot, bad flavors or turn to vinegar. Too cold, you'll never get your yeast started. Okay, peel that off. There we go. Oh, we should have dried it pretty good. It's a little wet sliding off. There we go. Let's see what that is. We're at 72, right on the border. It's going to get warmer in this room. So here we go. We got to get the yeast out of the fridge. It came just yesterday. We are using Lavin EC-1118. It is, I always use it. Sparkling wines. All kinds of. Not good for champagne or beer. But since this is good, 5 grams does 5 gallons. So, I'm going to go shoot for the breeze. And I'm going to add in, you guessed it, half a package. I'm not going to use an yeast starter or an yeast nutrient since I'm using half a package. If I was using a fifth of a package, then yeah, then I would. Half a package and all that sugar. Let's see, here we go. Oh, a little bit more. Half a pack. Here we go, we save that. Goes right back in here. We save half, I don't care. what anybody says, don't disturb it. Everybody always wants to disturb it. Don't disturb it. I have learned if you don't disturb it, it will start. It'll start vigorously. Okay, now we need to find our floater. Where is our floater? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. We don't need that. Where's our floater? Could be back in the bucket still? Where'd that devil go? Are you kidding me? Things just disappear. You know what? I got a new one. We'll just sanitize it real fast and throw it on there. Always have a backup for your backup. Remember, 30-second contact time is needed to sterilize if you're using Star Sand. Don't care if it goes gray, cloudy, the Star Sand, as long as it's under, what was it, the pH under 30, look it up. Okay. I use a little bit of Star Sand to the line. There we go. A little bit more, not floating. Is it to the line? All right. There we go. There we go. If you don't do it nice and tight, it will fall in there. Alright, some leaks. That's okay. Okay. It's like Goof Troop or F Troop trying to make beer. Just a tad. Right there. Wants to push out. That's good news. I knew I should have got a smaller bung. Alright. So there we go. Now, I'm only going to move it from here to another Debbie John just one time. Then after the clearing agent and everything else, we will go from the second Debbie John down to our third Debbie John, which is going to be considered our bottling Debbie John, with our not automatic, but our siphoning hose. If you don't have one, it's just to get one, because you only want to mix it one time when it calls for it. Look it up. We're going to let it set for 10 days. Transfer it to another Debbie John. Put some yeast killer in it, and then it says to degas a couple times a day for a few days. Then to your third Debbie John, which is the bottling one, you just add clearant, and 3 days later it's going to be really clear and really good. Like I said, the potential volume of alcohol is 16%. I'm thinking it's going to go down to 13. We did use about 2.5 grams of yeast, so we might see 16 to 18. Well, that's for you to see next time when we take another gravity to see how much we gained in 10 days. And then when we switch over to the second one, or the third one, we take another gravity. And if it's not growing, the numbers are not, alcohol percentages are not growing up, then we know it's time to bottle. So, I'm Tom. Peace be with you. Stay home, wear a mask outside, and gloves. Don't go out unless you got to go to the grocery store, pharmacy, gas station, or check on the elderly like I do with my dad. So hey, peace be with you, and stay tuned after our next video. It's going to be like a little rant about COVID-19 and why some governors want you to go outside early. I'm telling you, I warned you on my first video about the double bounce, where it's going to hit us again the next flu season, starting late September, early October. If it mutates, it could be deadly, like the 1918 virus. After it mutated, came back around, it killed a man in his 20s in under 24 hours. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but scientists need to know and prepare us of what's going to happen. I hope the worst doesn't happen. You got to pray for the best and prepare for the worst. I'm sorry to tell you that. This is America. Everybody wants their freedom and thinks that the government's taking our freedom away. They're not. What they're doing is trying to protect us. Because who's going to pay all the trillions of dollars back we owe? If there's no one around to take taxes from, and we're dead, the government loses it. That's bad business. Business grows with healthy employees. We pay taxes, they take it, they pay down the debt. They can't do it if we're all dead. So people, don't be paranoid. In the South, don't be paranoid. The way you can tell if they're going to take our freedom, the first thing they do is take our guns. Hitler did. World War II, first thing to go was all the guns. They got to go out of people's hands. So we're going to talk more about that hopefully in the next couple days. So make your homemade brew. Later.